What's up, everybody? Welcome to the TYSK Report. I got some great articles lined up on the docket, so let's dive in. In the first article, flying car rotors ready for mass production. Rotor blades for flying car PAL V Liberty have been developed in collaboration with the Royal NLR Netherlands Aerospace Center, bringing the flying vehicle closer to mass production. The new rotor blades are 20% more efficient with less drag compared to equivalent blades, according to the company. A set of two rotor blades weighs 78 pounds and spans nearly 36 feet. Now, the gyroplane rotor blades are brought in motion by the airflow to create lift instead of by using a motor. This is called auto-rotation. So the PAL V blades are basically its wings during flight. Next to being lightweight, they contain a mid-hinge to fold the blades and enable driving the vehicle on the road with a convenient vehicle length. The PAL V Liberty received European road certification in 2020, allowing the flying car to be driven on public roads. The vehicle is somewhat of a cross between a helicopter and a plane, requires an airfield to take off and land, and is powered by a 200 horsepower engine. The two-person vehicle has a land range of 800 miles with a maximum speed of 100 miles per hour with a flight range of up to 300 miles at a maximum altitude of 11,000 feet. Earlier this year, PAL V received an order for 100 of its flying vehicles with Avatera, a Dubai company that plans to bring the vehicles to the Middle East and Africa. The PAL V showroom serves as a platform for buyers or investors. The vehicle is expected to cost in the range of $500,000. So yeah, this is a vehicle right here that I would like to own. Now, because of that huge price tag, I don't know about owning it within the near future, but possibly in 10 plus years, I can own one or two of these for myself. Now, I like this vehicle because it's a little bit different from what we've been talking about for the past few weeks when it comes to air taxis that are strictly meant to fly in the air. But with this one, not only can you fly it in the air, but you can bring it back down to the ground and drive it on the roads. So this is very futuristic. Of course, that price point is very high. A lot of people are definitely not going to be able to get it, but maybe in 10 to 20 years, we could see more of these out on the road and possibly being sold by possible electric vehicle companies or whatever traditional ICE companies are still around during that time. Also, this goes to show that the technology when it comes to transportation as a whole is advancing and changing each and every day. So it's always important to stay up to date on this information. That's why I bring it to you. But I do wonder, in a very utopia-like world, if you had the option to own this at a price point that was not as high as $500,000, would this be something that you would want to own? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to the next article. BMW expands self-driving technology across its factories. BMW has confirmed that more cars are set to drive around its factories autonomously as part of the manufacturing process. The company initially launched a pilot in 2022 at its huge Dingolfing plant in Bariva, aimed at improving efficiencies by removing the need for drivers at certain points of production. Now, the automated driving in-plant pilot, Automasteries Verein im Werk in German, or AFW for short, has been successfully concluded and received CE certification for adhering to safety standards. BMW is set to introduce the idea into series production. At Dingolfing, BMW 5 Series and 7 Series models have driven themselves at very low speeds from the facility's assembly halls through what is described as a short test course to the finishing area, a route of a little more than half a mile. The autonomous functionality is facilitated by the extensive use of LiDAR sensors on the route, plus a digital twin of the environment and an external movement planner. The vehicle's automation is controlled within this extensive system, which operates via the cloud. Further development of the AFW process is planned too, with BMW promising its usage can be extended to outdoor distribution areas, for example. It also claims the increased use of onboard tech will further support the external sensors in the longer term. So this is just some updated news when it comes to BMW and also self-driving technology. We could see that they have these cars operating on their own autonomously inside their environment where they're working on these vehicles, but also they did speak about how they want to put them on the outside and having them drive around in different distribution areas. So not only is self-driving technology expanding out there on the roads next to us as we're driving, we can definitely see them more and more in the future out at factories, driving different cargo to different places, or transporting cargo from one point of the facility to the next. So automated driving continues to expand, and if any other information arises with this company related to self-driving technology, I'll make sure to keep you updated. In the next article, nightmare Zipcar outage is a warning against complete app dependency. An app outage that locks lock numerous rental car customers out of their vehicles is a reminder of the perils of completely relying on apps for basic functionality, especially when those apps have seemingly limited support resources. Zipcar is a car sharing service that lets customers pay a membership fee to rent vehicles. Members use the Zipcar app to locate cars, unlock and lock them, share images of the vehicle for proof that you didn't damage it, and report concerns. One typically goes through the entire Zipcar rental process without interacting with a human. Avoiding car rental lines and customer service representatives seems efficient until the app utterly fails you. As reported by 404 Media, Zipcar experienced an outage that prevented the app from functioning properly for numerous users. Without the app support, people could not unlock cars to start rentals, open cars that didn't come with keys, lock cars, and or return cars before their rental period expired. Now, these are some of the pitfalls of completely relying on apps for basic functionality. There was a time when Zipcar members automatically received physical Zipcars for opening doors. Now they're not really advertised and users have to request one. Apps can simplify and streamline while delivering ingenuity, but that doesn't mean traditional app-free measures should be eliminated as backups. So I have two reasons why I brought you this article. Number one, it's always important to remember that technology is still technology, even though it has these wonderful advances and it's always interesting and exciting to see something new. There can be times where things can go down, especially when it comes to apps. So always remember that. And if there's a way for you to have some type of backup plan when it comes to any circumstance related to technology, you want to make sure that you have that backup plan. And with renting cars, you definitely want to make sure you have a backup plan for the backup plan, so that way this type of thing does not happen to you. Now, for number two, this is also a glimpse into the future when it comes to cars and possible car ownership. I believe in the future, from my perspective, that a lot of people will not own cars, and a lot of car companies, traditional and electric vehicle companies, could soon altogether transition to a subscription-based model where people have a monthly subscription to a car and they're able to use it maybe for a few months out of the year and then have to return it. And because we're so used to subscription payments, this would be nothing new for people. And with people falling behind on car payments and then having their cars repoed, I can see this being the go-to option to alleviate that. Stellantis and Samsung to get a $7.54 billion federal loan for 2 EV battery factories. The Department of Energy preliminarily approved another loan to help fund the construction of electric vehicle battery factories in the U.S. This time, a joint venture between Stellantis and Samsung SDI will receive $7.54 billion to build 2 EV battery plants in Kokomo, Indiana. The project is expected to create 3,200 jobs as well as 2,800 operations jobs at the plants and hundreds more at a nearby supplier park. The loan will come from the DOE's Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing ATVM program, which was resurrected by President Joe Biden in 2022 to help fund the developing EV manufacturing industry in the U.S. Trump has promised to reverse or cancel much of the spending by Biden on EVs once he assumes office. He has said he will kill the $7,500 tax credit for new EV purchases, as well as wipe out the rest of the spending from the Inflation Reduction Act. Assumingly, that will include the ATVM loan program as well, even though it predates the Inflation Reduction Act. So this definitely looks like a Hail Mary for Stellantis because they are going through a lot of trouble. Their CEO just left. They're having declining car sales, and then they also have some challenges with leadership. So a lot of things are not going well for Stellantis. So when it comes to this money, I wonder how they will be able to use it efficiently to help grow their company. So I could definitely see Trump walking this one back and possibly using that money for something else. And in this video right here, I did talk about how Stellantis was bringing this frame that was supposed to help expand the length of electric vehicles and also ICE vehicles, but that may not save them as well either. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out for Stellantis. And if any other news arises with them, I'll make sure to keep you updated. On to the next article. Meta wants to use nuclear power for its data centers. Meta has confirmed its plans to use nuclear power to fuel U.S. data centers. The company announced that it's accepting proposals from nuclear energy developers to work on the project with the goal of adding between 1 and 4 gigawatts of nuclear energy capacity starting in the early 2030s. The company's request for proposal states that Meta is seeking partners that have experience with either small modular reactors, SMR, or larger nuclear reactors. Axio reports that the company is geographically agnostic about the location of potential nuclear sites. The company previously had plans to build a nuclear-powered data center, but the plans were scuttled after the discovery of a rare species of bees near the site. So that's just an update when it comes to Meta. Now, all these big companies are definitely going to be pushing forward when it comes to nuclear power. So we can hear the two words nuclear power a lot in 2025. Also, it looks like it's going to be nuclear and then also a combination of SMRs or one versus the other. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this, but they definitely are going to need that energy to help expand their plans when it comes to utilizing AI for their futuristic outlook. So this one is going to be very interesting and exciting to follow because everyone is racing to be number one in everything. So I'm not really sure who's going to come out on top, but let's move on to that next article. Autonomous shuttle pilot program launches at Brussels Airport. Brussels in Belgium has become the latest city to trial an autonomous electric shuttle at its airport. In a first for the country, the self-driving bus will operate on a pilot basis for 3 months, moving airport employees across the tarmac adjacent to the runways. To ensure the safe phasing in of the program, it will stick to a predetermined designated route that has been created to complement existing services and ensure the AV does not get in their way. The bus, which has been built by New Zealand company Omeo, can accommodate up to 8 employees per ride, and a steward or safety monitor will be on board to oversee proceedings. At Brussels, the maximum speed will be pegged to just over 15 miles per hour, and autonomous functionality will be made possible by the bus's array of sensors and cameras that monitor surroundings and anticipate obstacles and other road users. There's also potential for the shuttle to be remotely controlled by way of Brussels Airport's advanced 5G network. So that is more news related to autonomous technology when it comes to vehicles. And it looks like this transportation space is growing and expanding, and we are definitely going to see ourselves in a completely different world in about 3 to 5 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be like when that time comes. StrikerVR is bringing its VR haptic gun to consumers soon, hoping for broader developer support. StrikerVR, the haptic peripheral maker for out-of-home VR, announced its open pre-orders for the Maverick, a new haptic VR gun designed for consumers. The haptic gun, which is compatible with Quest 3 and Quest 3S, is now available for pre-order priced at $499. StrikerVR says 1,000 units will be available for Christmas delivery. However, general shipping is expected to take place starting March 15, 2025. Like the Pro version for location-based entertainment, the new Maverick for consumers includes strong immersive recoil and haptic feedback. Next year, the company says it plans to release an integrated tracking upgrade into removable top plate, as well as obtain Made for Meta certification, which counts a number of certified third-party accessories as official partners such as D-Link's VR Air Bridge and Zenny's MR prescription lenses for Meta Quest 3S2. So this is some news when it comes to the virtual reality space. Now, when it comes to haptic feedback, it gives you that more realistic feeling, because if it's going to be called virtual reality, it might as well have some type of feel related to our actual reality. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and to continue to stay informed, you should like the video, subscribe, and then tell a friend to like the video and subscribe, and then check out these 2 videos right here where I keep you up to date on the rapid evolving world of technology.